Dear students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. In this module, we will talk about matrices and find inverse of a matrices and use of inverse of a matrices to find the solution of a linear system of equations. Matrices plays a vital role in various fields. Inverse of matrix is very important. Inverse of matrix is used to solve the linear system of equations. Many real life problems in environmental science are represented in the form of linear system of equations. So solution of these linear system of equations is very important. So we will use, in this module we will talk about how to find the inverse of a matrix by the adjoint of a matrix, then multiplicative inverse of a matrix, and we will use the inverse of a matrix to solve the linear system of equations. We will also provide some examples for application of the inverse of a matrix. So students, in this module we will talk about how to find the adjoint of a square matrix, how to find the multiplicative inverse of a matrix, and we will familiarize the students with the use of inverse of a matrix for solving system of linear equations. First, adjoint of a square matrix. Let A be a n cross n order square matrix and let Cij be the cofactor of element Aij in A, then transpose of matrix of cofactors of elements of A is called adjoint of matrix A and it is denoted by adjoint A. Thus, adjoint of A is just a transpose of cofactor matrix. If A is this matrix, and then adjoint of A will be just a transpose of when each element of A is replaced by its cofactors, where Cij denotes the cofactors of elements Aij of matrix A. For example, let's find the adjoint of a matrix A in which A11 element is A, A12 element is B, A21 element is C and A22 element is D. Here the cofactors of elements are given by this. Cofactors of A11 is D, cofactor of A12 is minus C, cofactors of A21 is minus B and cofactor of A22 is A. So the adjoint of matrix A is this matrix. Now find the adjoint of this matrix. It is a 3 cross 3 matrix. Let the Cij represent the cofactors of Aij of matrix A, then the cofactors of elements of A are given by this. In first row elements C11 is 0, C12 is minus 1, C13 is minus 1. Then C21 is 6, C22 is minus 5, C23 is minus 3. Then third row C31 is minus 2, C32 is 1 and C33 is 1. So the adjoint of matrix A will be the transpose of this cofactor matrix. So we will have this matrix. Now let A be nth order square matrix, then A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into identity matrix of nth order, which is equal to adjoint of A into A matrix. Here AIN represent the nth order identity matrix and determinant A is denoted by the determinant of a matrix. Let us find a proof of this theorem. Let A be any n order square matrix and Cij be the cofactor of Aij in A. Then adjoint of A is transpose of cofactor matrix. So it will be equal to Cjith element of n cross n matrix, where I varies from 1 to n and j varies from 1 to n. Also, because order of matrix A and adjoint A is same and both are square matrices, so adjoint of A into A and A into adjoint of A are conformable for the product of order n. Now using the definition of multiplication of two matrices, A into adjoint of A's ijth element is given by this summation. So A into A adjoint A matrix ijth element will be determinant of A if I is equal to j and will be 0 if I is not equal to j. It is just a simple use of the properties of the determinants. So the diagonal elements of matrix A dot adjoint of A are equal to determinant of A and all the non-diagonal elements are 0. Similarly, we can show that adjoint into A matrix ijth element is given by determinant of A if I is equal to j and 0 if I is not equal to j. So A into adjoint of A is equal to, we can take out determinant of A outside, so then we will have A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into identity matrix of nth order, which is again equal to adjoint of A into A matrix. Now find the adjoint of matrix this and verify that A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into identity matrix of third order, and which is again equal to adjoint of A into A matrix. So let us find the cofactors of matrix A. These are the cofactors of first row, these are cofactors of second row, and these are the cofactors of third row. So we have adjoint of A is given by this matrix. Now let us find the product of A into adjoint of A. Using the multiplication, we have A into adjoint of A is equal to diagonal matrix in which the diagonal elements are equal to -1. Now let us find the determinant of A, which is equal to -1. So determinant of A into identity matrix of nth order will give diagonal matrix in which diagonal elements are -1. Similarly, we can find adjoint of A into A matrix, which is again a diagonal matrix with diagonal elements -1. So clearly from these first, second and third equation, we can see that A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into identity matrix of nth order. Here n will be 3, which is again equal to adjoint of A into A matrix. We can also denote the determinant of A by in this notation. Now this theorem, let A be a non-singular square matrix of order n. Non-singular means its determinant will be non-zero. Then determinant of adjoint of A will be equal to n minus 1 power of determinant of A. Let us prove this theorem. Now A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into identity matrix of nth order, that we have just proved in our earlier theorem. So A into adjoint of A is given by the diagonal matrix where the diagonal elements are determinant of A. Now taking the determinant on both sides, of these matrices, on left hand side we have a determinant of A into adjoint of A, and on right hand side we have a determinant of diagonal matrix. Now simplifying right hand side, and we have it is equal to determinant of A into the power n. Also in the left hand side, we know that if determinant of A into B matrix is equal to determinant of A matrix into determinant of B matrix. So using this, on the left hand side can be written as this form: determinant of A into determinant of adjoint of A, which is equal to nth power of determinant of A. So the determinant of A is equal to n minus 1 power of determinant of A. Now some more properties of adjoint of a square matrix. If A and B are non-singular square matrices of same order n, then adjoint of AB is equal to adjoint of B into adjoint of A. Adjoint of a symmetric matrix is also a symmetric matrix. If A is a non-singular square matrix of order n, then adjoint of A is equal to n minus 2 power of determinant of A into matrix A. If A is a non-singular square matrix of order n, then determinant of adjoint A is equal to determinant n minus 1 square of determinant A. Now inverse of a matrix. A nth order square matrix A is invertible if there exists a square matrix B of same order such that AB is equal to identity matrix of nth order, and which is again equal to B into A. Then B is called the inverse of matrix A, and it is denoted by A inverse. For example, let us find the inverse of matrix A, where A matrix is A, B, C, D. Now here, because here A inverse is this matrix, because A into A inverse is equal to identity matrix of second order, and also when we multiply A inverse into A, then again we will find the identity matrix of second order. So here this matrix is inverse of A matrix. Proof, let A be nth order invertible matrix. Let if possible it has two inverse B and C. Then by the definition of inverse, AB is equal to BA is equal to nth order identity matrix. Similarly, AC is equal to CA is equal to identity matrix of nth order, because here C is the inverse of matrix A. Now from 1, as AB is equal to identity matrix of nth order, multiplying both sides by C matrix, as we know that the matrix multiplication is associative, so we have CA into B is equal to right hand side C into identity matrix of nth order. Now because C is inverse of A, so we have on left hand side it will be equal to, using the second equation, it will be equal to identity matrix of nth order. So IN B is equal to C into IN, but we know that IN into B is equal to B and C equal to IN is equal to C, so we have B is equal to C. Hence invertible matrix have a unique inverse. As a one corollary, if A is invertible matrix, then inverse of matrix A is again A matrix itself. Proof, let A is invertible matrix, so let it has a inverse A inverse. Then by the definition of inverse, A into A inverse is equal to identity matrix, which is again equal to A inverse into A. Now this implies A is inverse of A inverse. From the definition of, again for definition of inverse of matrix, so we have A is equal to inverse of A matrix. Theorem, a square matrix is invertible if and only if it is non-singular. So it is very important theorem, because if we want to find the inverse of matrix, what will be the condition for this? It should be a non-singular matrix. That means its determinant must be non-zero. Proof, let A is invertible matrix, then we have to show that it is non-singular. As A is invertible, so there exists a matrix B such that AB is equal to identity matrix. Now taking determinant on both sides, determinant of AB is equal to determinant of identity matrix, and we know the determinant of AB is equal to determinant of A into determinant of B. So, and we know the determinant of identity matrix is equal to 1. So, we have determinant of A into determinant of B is equal to 1. Now, this implies both determinant of A and determinant of B must be non-zero. So, A must be a non-singular matrix. Now, let us prove the converse of this theorem. Let us suppose that A is a non-singular matrix of order n. Also, for a square matrix of order n, we have A into adjoint of A is equal to determinant of A into identity matrix, which is again equal to adjoint of A into A. Now this implies A into adjoint of A divided by determinant of A is equal to identity matrix, which is equal to adjoint of A divided by determinant of A into A matrix. Because A is a non-singular matrix and determinant will be non-zero, hence 1 by determinant A will be exist. So here inverse of A will be given by adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. Hence A is invertible. Here's a remark that from above theorem we can find the inverse of a non-singular matrix. So if we want to know the inverse of a matrix, then we can use this formula, that inverse of matrix A, if it is non-singular, is given by adjoint of A divided by determinant of A. Now algorithm for finding the inverse of a square matrix. First of all, calculate determinant of A. If determinant of A is 0, then the matrix is singular. So inverse of matrix does not exist. Stop here. If determinant of A is non-zero, then matrix is non-singular and matrix is invertible. So go to the step 3. Now obtain the matrix adjoint of A as discussed earlier. Now find the inverse of matrix using the formula A inverse is given by 1 by determinant of A into adjoint matrix A. For example, let A be any second order matrix. We need to verify that A into A inverse is equal to identity matrix of second order. Let matrix A be this. Let us find the determinant of this matrix. It is equal to AD minus BC. Now the matrix will be invertible only if determinant is non-zero. That means AD minus BC must be non-zero. Let us suppose that AD minus BC is non-zero. In this case, find the cofactors of elements of matrix A as follows. So C11 will be D, C12 will be minus C, C21 will be minus B, and C22 will be A. So the adjoint of matrix A is given by this matrix. Now A inverse is 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A, so A inverse will be this matrix. Now let us verify that A into A inverse is equal to identity matrix of second order, and which is again equal to A inverse into A. Now let's multiply A and A inverse matrix. We will have this value. Simplifying this relation, we have identity matrix of second order. Similarly, we can show that A inverse into A is again also a identity matrix of second order. Now properties of inverse of a matrix. If A, B and C are square matrices of same order n, and if A is a non-singular matrix, then AB equal to AC implies B is equal to C, and BA is equal to CA implies B is equal to C. But A must be non-singular matrix. If A and B are invertible matrices of same order n, then AB is also invertible, and also AB inverse is given by B inverse into A inverse. So the order will be reversed. If A is invertible matrix, then transpose of A is also invertible, and inverse of transpose of A will be equal to transpose of A inverse. Inverse of an invertible symmetric matrix is a symmetric matrix. Let us consider an example. Show that A and B are invertible, and also verify that AB inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Here let us find the determinant of A, which is equal to 1. So A is invertible matrix. So we can find the inverse of this matrix. So just find first of all adjoint of A. We have adjoint of A is given by this matrix. Now A inverse will be 1 by a determinant of A into adjoint of A, which is this matrix. Now let's find the inverse of B matrix. Here determinant of B is 1, which is non-zero, so B is also invertible, and adjoint of B is given by this matrix, so we can find the inverse of B by multiplying one of determinant of B with adjoint of B. So we have this matrix. Now let AB is given by this matrix. Here determinant of AB is 1, which is again non-zero, so AB is also invertible. Now let us find the inverse of AB. Let's find the cofactors of each element of AB. Then AB inverse is given by this matrix. Now multiply the B inverse with A inverse. We have this matrix, and you can easily check that value of AB inverse is equal to B inverse into A inverse. Hence we have this relation. Now let us consider one more example. Let A matrix is given by this matrix and satisfies the equation this. Hence using this equation find the inverse of A. So we can use the this equation to find the inverse of A if A satisfies this equation. Now, if it satisfies this equation, then we should have A square minus 6A plus 7 into identity matrix of second order equal to 0, where right hand side is 0 matrix and I2 is identity matrix of second order. Now, A square, let us find A square, that is A into A, we have this matrix, and minus 6A is given by this matrix, and substituting these values in the given equation, we can check that A matrix satisfies the given equation. So we can use this equation now. Hence matrix A satisfies this equation. Now from this we can take 17 into identity matrix on right hand side. So A square minus 6A is equal to minus 17 into identity matrix of second order. Pre-multiplying both sides with the matrix A inverse, we have A inverse into A square minus 6A is equal to minus 17 into A inverse into identity matrix. On the left hand side, A inverse into A square will give A, and A inverse into A will give identity matrix of second order. So on left hand side we will have A minus 6 into identity matrix of second order, and on right hand side A inverse into identity matrix will be A inverse. So from the right hand side, A inverse can be found by dividing minus 17 on left hand side. So A inverse is given by this matrix. Now substituting the values of identity matrix and A matrix and simplifying the given relation, we have A inverse given by this matrix. Now the solution of system of linear equations. First of all, we will describe what is system of linear equations. A system of n simultaneous linear equations in n unknowns is given by this system of equations, where Aij for ij varies from 1 to n and Bi I varies from 1 to n are constants. So the given system can be written in matrix form, in this form, where first matrix can be put A matrix and x1, x2, xn matrix can be put capital X matrix, and right hand side can be written as a B matrix. Now homogeneous and non-homogeneous system of equations. A system of equations Ax equal to B is called homogeneous system of equations if right hand side, that is B, is equal to 0 matrix. Otherwise it is called a non-homogeneous system of equations. Now solution of system of equations. A set of values of variables x1, x2, xn satisfying all the equations simultaneously is called a solution of system of equations. If a system has one or more solutions, then it is said to be consistent system of equations. If the system have no solution, then it is said to be inconsistent system of equations. Now let's describe the method for finding the solution of a given system. First of all, we are taking the non-homogeneous system. So method for solving the system Ax equal to B, where B is non-zero matrix. We have already shown that the system of simultaneous linear equations can be expressed in matrix form. Now we will discuss the method for solving this matrix equation for solution of given system of simultaneous linear equations. First of all, I will prove this theorem. If a coefficient matrix A is non-singular, then the system of equations given by Ax equal to B has a unique solution, and the solution is given by x is equal to A inverse into B, where A is a coefficient matrix. Here we have Ax equal to B, where A is this coefficient matrix and x is variable matrix and B is right hand side matrix. And here we have assumed that determinant of A is non-zero, so matrix A is invertible. Pre-multiplying both sides of 1 by A inverse, we have this result. So just simplifying this result, because we know that matrix multiplication is associative. So we have x equal to A inverse into B matrix. Thus, if A is a non-singular, then system Ax equal to B has a solution which is given by A in x is equal to A inverse B. Now, let us check the uniqueness of the solution. Now, we will prove that the solution x equal to A inverse B of system Axb is unique if A is a non-singular or invertible matrix. If possible, let x1, x2 be two solutions of the system. That means Ax1 is equal to B and Ax2 is also equal to B. Now, this implies Ax1 is equal to Ax2. Pre-multiplying both sides by the A inverse, we have this result, and we know that matrix multiplication is associative, so we can find this result. So, this will give x1 is equal to x2. Hence, if A is a non-singular matrix, then the system Ax equal to B have a unique solution which is given by this relation. Now, the criteria for consistency. Consistency means to check whether the given solution has a solution or not. Let Ax equal to B be a system of n simultaneous linear equations in n unknowns. Then, first of all, if A is non-singular, then determinant of A will be non-zero, the system is consistent and has unique solution which is given by x is equal to A inverse B, which we have already proved. Now, if A is singular, that is determinant of A is 0, then and also adjoint of A into B is also 0, B is right hand side matrix, then the system is consistent and has infinitely many solutions. If A is singular but adjoint of A into B is non-zero, then system is inconsistent. That means system will not have any solution. Now, let us have algorithm for this. Algorithm for solving Ax equal to B system of n simultaneous linear equations in n unknowns. For solution, first of all, write this system in matrix form. Now, let us find the determinant of A, which is minus 18, which is non-zero. So, the given system must have a unique solution which will be given by x equal to A inverse B. So, let us find A inverse. For that, let us find the cofactors of elements Aij of matrix A. Then the cofactors of matrix A are given by this relation. Now, let us find the adjoint of A, which is transpose of cofactor matrix. So, adjoint of A is given by this matrix. So, now we can find the inverse of A, which is given by 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. So, we have inverse of A is given by this relation. Now, x solution is given by x is equal to A inverse B. So, multiply is this A inverse with the right hand side, that is B matrix. Simplifying, on right hand side we have column matrix 1, 2, 3. So, the solution is given by this matrix where x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2 and z is equal to 3. You can verify that this solution will satisfy the given system of equations. Now, take an example of inconsistent system, that means the solution will not exist. Now, system can be written again in a matrix form. The determinant of A here is 0. So, the given system will not have unique solution. It may have either infinitely many solution or no solution. So, given system is either inconsistent or it have infinitely many solution. If adjoint of A into B is non-zero, then the system will be inconsistent. If adjoint of A into B is 0, then the system will have infinitely many solutions. So, let us find the value of adjoint of A into B matrix. For that, we have to find the adjoint of A. So, adjoint of A is given by this matrix. Then multiply the adjoint of A with the B matrix, we will have this column matrix 6 minus 12, which is non-zero. So, the given system is inconsistent. So, we cannot find the solution of this system. Now, let us take an example of infinitely many solutions. Um, let us write this system in matrix form, where A is a coefficient matrix, X is variable matrix, and B is right hand side matrix. Now let us check the determinant of A, which is 0. So the given system is either inconsistent or it is consistent with infinitely many solutions. It can be checked as follows: that if adjoint of A into B is non-zero, then system will be inconsistent, and if adjoint of A into B is 0, then the system will have infinitely many solutions. So let us find the adjoint of A. For that we have to find the cofactors of Aij element of matrix A. These are cofactors of elements of A. So we will have adjoint of A given by this matrix. Now adjoint of A into B matrix is this matrix, which is clearly a zero matrix. So the given system will have infinitely many solutions. Now let us find the solutions of this system. Put one of the variables z equal to k, where k is arbitrary constant. Now let us take the first two equations of the given system. So the first of two equations can be written in this form. Now we will again solve this new system of two equations with the matrix method. So let here write this system in matrix method. Here coefficient matrix will be A dash matrix, variable matrix will be X dash matrix, and right hand side matrix will be B dash matrix. Again find the determinant of coefficient matrix, which is 6, which is clearly non-zero. So the given system will have unique solution. Now let us find the A dash inverse. For that, first of all, again find adjoint of A dash matrix. For this, find the cofactors of elements of A matrix A dash. Here the cofactors are given by this matrix. So adjoint of A dash is given by this matrix, and A dash inverse is given by 1 by determinant of A dash matrix into adjoint of A dash matrix, which is this matrix. Now again let us find the solution of given system of two equations. X dash is given by A dash inverse into B dash. So substituting the values of A dash inverse and B dash and simplifying the given system, we have this solution. So X will be given by 5 by 3 and Y is K minus 4 by 3, and Z we have already assumed that is equal to K. So X equal to 5 by 3, Y equal to K minus 4 by 3, and Z equal to K also satisfy the third equation. You can check this. So the given system have infinitely many solutions, which is given by this relation, where K may have any real value. These are some questions for exercise. Now consider a homogeneous system of linear equations given by this system. The system can be written in matrix form, where right hand side matrix is zero matrix. Now if A is a non-singular matrix, in this case determinant of A will be non-zero and A inverse will exist. So in that case let Ax is equal to 0, multiplying both sides by A inverse will find that x is equal to 0. So all the variables x1, x2, x3 will be 0. So if coefficient matrix is non-singular, then the homogeneous have unique solution given by x1, x2, x3 is equal to 0, which is called trivial solution of homogeneous system. This solution will always exist for homogeneous system. Now if A is singular matrix, in this case determinant of A will be 0, so adjoint of A into B, that is B matrix is here is 0, so will always be equal to 0. So the homogeneous system is always consistent, and if A is singular, then the homogeneous system will have infinitely many solutions, which can be obtained by assigning one variable arbitrary constant value and solving the resulted system again by the matrix method. Let us consider an example. Let this will be given a linear system of homogeneous system. The system can be written in matrix form, where A is coefficient matrix, S is variable matrix, and right hand side matrix is zero matrix. Let's check the determinant of A, which is 46, which is non-zero. So A matrix is non-singular matrix. So the system have only trivial solution, which is given by x equal to y equal to z equal to 0. So all the variable will have 0 value. Now solve this homogeneous system. Again, writing this system in matrix form, where A is coefficient matrix, X is variable matrix, and right hand side is 0 matrix. Now determinant of A matrix is 0 here. So system will have infinitely many solutions. Now to solve the given system, consider first two equations and put z equal to k. So we have this new system. So we will again solve this system. Now again, solving this system by matrix method, system can be written in following form, where A dash is a coefficient matrix, X dash is variables, and B dash is a right hand side matrix. Now here a determinant of A dash is -3, which is non-zero. So the system has a solution, and which will be unique solution for this two equation system, which is given by X dash is equal to A dash inverse into B dash. So let us find A dash inverse. So first of all, find adjoint of A dash, which is given by this matrix. Now A dash inverse is given by this relation, which is 1 by determinant of A dash into adjoint of A dash. So A dash inverse is this matrix. Now X dash is equal to A dash inverse into B dash. So substituting the values of A dash inverse and B dash on right hand side and simplifying the given relation, we have X equal to K by 3 and Y equal to 2K by 3, and Z we have already assumed that it is equal to K. So X equal to K by 3, Y equal to 2K by 3, and Z equal to K also satisfy the third equation. You can check this third equation is 3x plus 6y minus 5z. So the given system have infinitely many solutions given by this relation, where k may have any real value. And these are some questions for exercise. So dear students, in this module we have talked about adjoint of a matrix, how to find the inverse of matrix using the adjoint of a matrix, and we have also applied the inverse of matrix to solve the given system of linear equations. We have also checked the consistency of the given system of equations. We have talked about the consistency of non-homogeneous system of equations and homogeneous system of equations, when the solution will exist and when infinitely many solution will exist, and when there will be no solution of given system of equations. Thanks for visiting EPG Pathshala.